Right, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another For Honor video. Today I will be talking all about Tiandi and my experience playing him on the test server because it was absolutely amazing. Tiandi, my second favourite character in the entire thing. I was going to make a Warden video, but, you know, with Warden's voice as it is, things like this just keep happening. Do you like my new soothing voice?
No! No, please!
I am the Warden!
It burns!
Oh,
no!
You like it?
No! Stop!
So, yeah, with Warden as it is, it's just not worth making a video on him, because until they fix the voice, it's just awful playing as him. And against him. But, getting into Tiandi, yeah. Tiandi was my second favourite character of the entire test, and just because he's got absolutely everything any character could possibly need, and it's just really fun playing him with the amount of freedom he has and options and everything. It's just great. Before in the previous test that came out, Tiandi was ridiculously broken. Looked absolutely amazing. But now they've dialed all of that back a bit, which has made him... He's not bad. He's still probably top tier, one of the best characters in the game, but not obviously in a tier of his own, which is, you know, fair. It's a good way of balancing, I think, what they've done. It's, you know, work out quite well. So, there aren't actually very many bad things to talk about Tiandi, when it comes to Tiandi. He's, like, there are only probably one or two gripes I have with his entire kit. Everything else is just perfect, works perfectly. There's always a use for it. You know, he's got a very simple, basic moveset, but you can just do so much with it. It's like, you know, simple is best, and this character is, like, showing that off perfectly. He's got very, like, limited kit options, but still you can do some amazing, ridiculously good stuff with it, and I absolutely love that kind of thing. So, getting into the couple... Well, I'll just go over all of his moves first. So, the main thing about Tiandi is he's got these, like, extended dodges, which is kind of weird. So, he can dodge heavy and dodge light to, you know, side, back, side and forward. And his dodge heavies have this thing where it's extended dodge, which basically means you have more invulnerability frames on your dodge, which is more or less, like, the best way to describe it after playing with so much of it. It's basically a pseudo Nobushi hidden stance, but you also attack from it at the same time. It's like the perfect mixture of defense and offense, because you're going into hidden stance while attacking at the exact same time, and it's just, it's really good. And you can feint it at any point. You can also cancel it into another dodge, so any kind of dodge attack, so you can cancel it into a dodge light, and his dodge lights are ridiculous. They have no startup animation, more or less. They start up ridiculously fast, and they're only 500 milliseconds. So, you know, 500 millisecond lights that don't have any, like, giveaway animation. You can throw them out from, like, basically anything. They're just really good. And the main thing about them, which makes them godlike, probably his dodge lights are probably his best thing is in entire kit. The best thing about them is they always catch dodges, so they've got the dodge catch property, so whenever you try and dodge anything, the dodge light will always hit you, and that's absolutely amazing. It means you can catch people out of absolutely anything they throw, more or less. The only thing it doesn't work against is hyper armor, but every other character, absolutely fucked if you start throwing them out, like, carefully. And yeah, you can basically throw them out from anything. So you'll see me doing it a lot here, especially in the later gameplay. Talking about the gameplay just in the background. I'm probably just going to talk over my basic thoughts on Tiandi, and then, you know, make this as a video, and then release the actual full duel as its own video, because this is like an hour and 10 minutes long. So, you know, might as well get the use of all the footage. So, yeah. His dodge attacks are absolutely amazing. His dodge heavies... they do about 25 damage, which is, you know, respectable, but the main thing about them is it's so hard to hit him out of it. When you get the hang of throwing them out, it's so hard to hit them out. Like, if anyone uses a combo attack, it will always whiff, and you'll be able to hit them. It's just, it's hard to describe, it's easier to show. That's why I feel like I should just shut up and let the gameplay talk for itself, but I'll do that after I finish talking about the stuff I do need to talk about. So, he's got an amazing zone attack, it's 2 parts, and it's also ridiculously fast. It's like, basically Kensei level zone, and Kensei probably has the second best zone in the entire game. You know, Conk has the best because it's superior block and all that ridiculous stuff. But Kensei has the second best because high damage, ridiculously fast, and goes ridiculously far. Exactly the same with Tiandi. Goes really far, really fast, good amount of damage for it. And the thing is, what makes it even better than Kensei's is you can actually cancel it into an unblockable kick. Now, this is the really like mindfucky part of his kit. After any heavy or after his zone, the first part of his zone, you can cancel it into this unblockable kick. Now the kick is really well, you know, it's fairly easy to react to, but if you dodge it, you can't actually punish him unless you got a dodge attack because it recovers ridiculously quickly. But that's fair, because his dodge, his kick doesn't actually do any damage whatsoever. Does a fair amount of stamina damage, but no actual damage, which is, you know, not ideal, but it's good for what it leads into. So basically, you can cancel the kick. More or less anything he has, you can cancel it into something else, which is really, it opens up so many options. Like you can go, you'll see me doing it constantly in this gameplay, where I cancel the kick, and then like it's not just, you know, you press the cancel button. You soft feint it into the dodge attack, so you can dodge attack into, well, you can dodge into another heavy, or the better thing is to dodge into a light, because they catch enemy dodges because they've got that property on them. So what happens is, you see it as the opponent, you block the Tiandi's zone or something, right? You see him then go for an unblockable, and your brain just, after a year of practicing, oh, an unblockable, I've got to dodge this. This isn't a parryable unblockable, I have to dodge. And after a year of training your brain to do that, playing this game, to suddenly realize dodging isn't the right thing completely fucks with your way of thinking, right? So the reason why it's so good is because whenever I go for the kick, the person, or, you know, nearly every single time, your mind reacts and says, right, I've got to dodge this. So every time they dodge, every time you then dodge into a light attack, you'll catch them. Every single time, guaranteed. And it's just absolutely amazing, because you know that they know they've fucked up whenever they actually throw out the... as soon as they dodge the unblockable kick, you know in their heart they realise, oh, I fucked up, and then they get hit by your light. It's just so satisfying to do. And on top of that, what adds to the mindfuckery, like if that was his only unblockable, you would realise that, oh, against this character, I never dodge unblockables, and that would be something you could ingrain in your head. However, he does have one unblockable that you do need to dodge, which is his palm strike. Again, ridiculously fast, ridiculously easy to punish as well. Imagine it as like, and very short range. Imagine it like a bad Conk Bash. It's very fast, like Conk's Bash, very short range, so unlike Conk's Bash, and if you dodge it, you can get a guaranteed guard break punish. So it's fair for how fast it is, because of you can get you know, a full punish on the person who does it if they fuck up. You see right there, that was the dodging the attack and just, you know, sorry, that was me doing the heavy kick or unblockable kick and then going for the dodge light, which again hits people a ridiculous amount of the time. And yeah, so losing my train of thought. Yeah, talking about the palm strike. So yeah, his palm strike. I think that's also 500. It's like, yeah, I think it's 500 milliseconds as well, either 500 or 400. It's very quick for an unblockable, and it leads into a guaranteed light. So obviously not much damage, but it's enough pressure to put on someone to make them think, oh, an unblockable, I need to dodge it. So because he's got those two options, those two moves, it means you can keep conditioning people to want to dodge unblockables, and at the same time punish them for dodging your unblockables. It's an amazing like synergy he has with his moveset. You know, again, simple, but so much you can do with it. It's an amazing synergy between his kit. Like everything he does, he can cancel into something else and throw out amazing other stuff. It's crazy. One other thing he has that you might see a bit in the background of the gameplay, the one thing I have a gripe with is his deflect, or his crushing counter. So when you dodge lights, if he dodge lights into the direction of an enemy attack, it will do a crushing counter, which does a lot more damage and guarantees the palm strike into another light. So it does about 27... No. What is it in total? I think it's something like 32 damage for his crushing counter. It's basically a deflect because it comes from a dodge attack. But my main problem with it is so inconsistent. I know they toned it down. Like, you just saw it there. I know they toned it down a lot from where it was before, but I think this is the one move they toned down a bit too much because it misses when it should definitely hit sometimes. Like, that's how I feel, you know. Like, in some situations, I feel like I definitely should have got that deflect, but it didn't come off. Again, I don't want them to bring it back to where it was with original Tiandi, because that was ridiculous, because you could just parry lights with his crushing counter, which was, you know, insane. It should be, obviously, a bit worse than that, but, you know, should at least be able to consistently get heavies. That's the thing I find annoying. It doesn't consistently crushing counter heavies, which it should do. Apart from that, yeah, absolutely amazing. Love the fact that he's got a crushing counter sort of move. Very good. Like, if you're just attacking and your opponent happens to be attacking at the same time and you land a crushing counter, it's so satisfying. So yeah, it's just another nice little thing for him to have. What else is there to talk about? All his chains are really good. So from any light, he can always go into his palm strike. So he can go into his palm. Well, he can go into his palm strike from neutral, but he can also chain it after any light. So he can light, palm strike, light, more or less. So, you know, if you land dodge light, I'm saying light a lot. It's weird now that I've said it so many times. If he lands that attack, he can then go into the palm strike, which may or may not hit. It's not guaranteed unless it's a crushing counter, and then get another light, but that's part of his mix-up. Also, something I forgot to mention, his forward dodging heavy gives him hyper armor, so it's good for trading, things like that. But yeah, the fact that he can chain it opens up so many options. Like, you can see me doing it a lot here. When my opponent's out of stamina, I'll sometimes palm strike into light, just straight out of neutral. I'll sometimes do a light into palm strike, after that. I might sometimes just do 2 lights. There's just so many ways you can fuck with people's heads. And on top of that, that's not his only mix-up, because he can then go and start throwing out heavies, and if your opponent blocks a heavy, you get the kick. And while the kick doesn't do any damage, it almost always will guarantee another light, which is, pretty ridiculous. The one other thing I think I have a gripe with is the fact that the kick does no damage. I don't want it to do in fact, you know what, the kick should just do 1 damage. 1 damage to health. That would make the kick perfect. Because all I want to be able to do is kick someone across the map, have them slam into a wall and die. That would be amazing to watch. Just kick someone so hard they die. That's the way I'm thinking of it, and that's just... Ubisoft, give his kick 1 damage. That's all I ask. That would just complete him for me. Make the deflect a little bit, more consistent, and give his kick 1 damage. So as you just saw there, that's an example of how hard it is to punish, the kick. He dodged, should have got the guaranteed guard break, but no. It doesn't work. You recover too quickly, but I think that's fair considering, again, kick does no damage, although it should do 1. But yeah, I think that's all I can really talk about on Tiandi. He's got a very basic kit, so there's not too much to say. It's more easier to show some of the good stuff you can do. Like, you can chain any light into any heavy into any light. The unblockable stuff, like delaying the palm strike, that's really fun. It's really satisfying to do. Definitely fucks with people. But yeah, that's Tiandi. I mean, I absolutely love him. We'll definitely be playing more of him in the future. And you'll definitely be seeing some more gameplay. So, without further ado, fuck off and watch the gameplay video. Bye!